Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I'm cooking some soup for breakfast. It is 9:30 in the morning, and I didn't get breakfast before I had to head to work. So, let's have a look-see. Oh, better slow that down just a mite bit. What this is, I'm sure you all have seen it. It's Knorr vegetable soup, which I have, as usual, doctored. But no wieners today. Instead of wieners going into the soup, I got chunk chicken from Bumblebee. And I am so disappointed in this can. But I've already showed you that. So now we're just going to let this, because I have found that soup comes with the little vegetable pieces in it. And even if you simmer it, as the package directions suggest you should, they never get tender at 10 minutes simmering time. So we're going to let this run on a simmer and stew for quite some time, probably a good half hour at least. As soon as I get the fire just right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would have done this today over an open campfire, and I would have fried a couple eggs for sandwiches, because guess what? I even brought bread to make sandwiches with. But then I heard, where I live in this area, the red flag is up. And if you don't know what that means an extremely high risk of brush and forest fire, because everything's so dry. So right now, with red flag up, we're not allowed to have open fire for any reason. So I'm stuck sitting in my truck cooking over my camp stove again. Oh well, we'll get back to doing some more camping after the undergrowth starts to green up. See, because here in central New England, winter hung around and hung around and hung around some more. I mean, you've seen my videos. I mean, we were well into April before the snow went off. Normally, snow is gone by the end of February in this part of the country, and it hung around until mid-April. Anyhow, so that means all the undergrowth brush is delayed in coming up, and it went from winter to summer suddenly. And we're looking at nearly 90 degrees today here. Yeah, just last week I was wearing long johns because it was so cold. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And now we're wearing shorts and t-shirts, 90-degree days. That's not the way it's supposed to be. So I can tell you what my very bigoted old man would have said right about now. That idiot sees me on the camera doing a video and he has to back up right here. I'll tell you what my very bigoted old man would have said. He'd have said, the Ruskies are playing with the weather again. He'd said it many, many times. Well, ain't the Ruskies, it's the sun. But I've told you all about that too, so. Well, I just thought I'd let you see what I was up to these days. Hasn't been a whole lot of videos lately because, well, I have been busier than a three-peckered goat, pardon my French. Boss has had me going everywhere but crazy. I've been going there too, just for the fun of it. We'll be talking to you again later. Peace out. Okay, even though it's called lunch with Emburrado, this is actually breakfast with Emburrado. Now, let's take a look-see. I've added my chicken meat. And I've added some plain long-grain white rice to my soup. And we're just going to let it steam and cook along for about 20 minutes now. And those veggies should be tender by the time it's done. Probably going to have to add a little more water to the pot, but I'll judge that in a little while, because I do want it as a soup, not as just flavored rice. But it's going to be tasty. and it should be ready in about 20 minutes. We'll see you then. Told you it was Knorr. There it is. It's Knorr vegetable soup mix. Soup and vegetable dip mix. And, well, it makes a good start. As I was saying before I accidentally hit the off button, it makes a good starting point, but then I doctored it with a little bit of chicken base, bouillon if you will. Only it's not quite bouillon, it's a little better quality and lower salt. So chicken base, and then the chunks of chicken, and I'll let that stew for a while, and then I added my rice. And what do you say we take a quick look-see here? Oh boy, that's going to be some good soup when it finishes. Because it's still got a good 10 minutes to stew at least to get the rice tender. We'll be back. My friends, I can only wish that you could smell what the rock is cooking. Oh, damn, that's good. I've showed it to you. I'll give you another glimpse. Get you turned down where you can see it. Like I said, I only wish you could smell it. Chicken and rice vegetable soup. I'll tell you what, this phone is going to be the death of me, and the stand keeps going off, going off, going off. Yep. Rice needs a few more minutes yet. Not quite tender. Now, a lot of you wanted to see my new cup in action. Well, it's going to get action today as my eating utensil, not as a cooking. I still haven't had a chance, because as I say, the boss has had me busier than, well, you know what I said earlier. I'm not going to repeat it. I haven't yet had a chance to put a handle on it. I did manage to get most of the welds ground off of it, and I got the cup nicely cleaned. Remember, there was a stain inside of it. I showed you that. And it's spot on, spick and span clean now. But, like I said, I have had it over fire once, and I can tell you that handle gets rocket hot. So, when I do cook with it, you're going to see me using my old beat up leather work gloves. Because, like I said, this handle, until I can figure something like maybe some silicone sheeting or something to wrap around it, my mama didn't mint no stupid trooper. We'll catch you again in a few minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I'd say the soup is ready, and I'm just so sorry you can't smell it. Because, oh my God, it smells like your granny's kitchen. It smells that good. There it is. Don't that look good? Oh, goodness. And as I said, all I started with was that Knorr vegetable soup mix. You know the stuff they're putting on Hellmann's these days? They attach a package to the outside of the Hellmann's jar? Well, that was my starting point for flavoring. Like I said, I added some chicken base. And that's what it's called. I get it in the canister. It's about so big around and about so tall with a screw top, big screw top. It's as big as this cup, but only about that tall, okay? Now, it's not the containment I use to bring it in the truck in, but I'm using an empty granulated garlic container for that, to carry it here into the truck. Oh, goodness. That's heavy, boys and girls. That's a quart of soup. Chicken vegetable with rice. I'm getting all the broth in the cup. I'm only getting some of the rice, so I'm going to have to put some of the broth back into the pot from the cup. Otherwise I wouldn't have, my second cup of soup wouldn't be. There we go. That looks about right. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, how is it Sandra Dee likes to say it on TV? I've seen that show once or twice. What was her show called? The Sandra Dee? Oh yeah, semi-homemade. This is semi-truck made. But made entirely by Embarado. And boy, is it hot. You know what? Let me set my jug of water out of the way somewhere. Okay. Oh, bother. Oh, there's something to work. I really am going to have to find something to use for padding and whatnot on this handle, because it's cutting into my hands holding it. So anyhow, there, that should be better. There, use my zebra mask as a pad so the handle don't cut into my hand. Well, let this be a small lesson for some of you. You can take a little bit of nothing and turn it into, sorry AB, pardon me for stealing your phrase, but turn it into really good eats. And for those of you who are not sure who I'm talking about, AB is Alton Brown of the TV series Good Eats from the Food Network, also known as Color Commentary, American Iron Chef. Same guy. Quite funny and quite a good cook from what I can tell. Or at least on his show he came up with some decent recipes. Whether they were his originals or I couldn't tell, I don't know. But he definitely showed something that I considered good eats on his show. Now, in the near future, for those who have requested to see my cup in action, I will be when the red flag is pulled down. I have plans of doing a smaller than hat-sized fire to brew some coffee on. I also plan on doing some kind of rice cooking in here. That would be a separate video. These are just thoughts in my head. Nothing's set in concrete yet, just when or how, but as I say, the boss has kept me pretty busy the last month. That's why so few videos. Fortunately, my afternoons, instead of being tied up with the school bus until 8 p.m., I will now be released and free to do as I please about 4 o'clock for what looks like mostly the rest of the school year. And this is a good thing. Well, so this is breakfast with Embarado. Chicken, vegetable, and rice soup. And we'll catch you for the next one. Peace out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, how is it Maxwell House says it? Good to the last drop. It is certainly that. Good to the last morsel and the last drop. That is some of the best soup I have made in a bloody long time. Well, it's the first soup I've made in a bloody long time from scratch, or nearly scratch. All the soup I've eaten in the last 2 years has come out of a can. So that's probably why it's the best soup I've had in a long time. Pardon me. Ain't bad manners, it's just good food. I'm going to let y'all in on a little something I picked up. A little something something. I spotted this in the local Wally World, and it's a Night Eyes Beaner. And I thought, first thing that popped into my head, that looks like it's steel. That's going to make a pretty decent flint striker. Well, ladies and germs, let me give you a heads up. Don't waste your time on a Night Eyes Beaner thinking you're going to get sparks. You aren't. This is a 75-pound beaner, and I couldn't get a single spark off of it with flint. Not one. Tell you what it is good for, though, and I found this out. Let me pull this back around here. Oops. Drop the beaner. Hang on a second. I'll show you what I figured out that it is good for. Everybody recognize that? It's an excellent striker for ferro rods. Who'd have thunk it? Just a heads up, I thought I'd share on something I've come up with. An excellent striker for ferro rods, the Night Eyes 75-pound beaner. Peace out.